Hey, how's it going, guys? Torpid here, bringing you the series of Blood Rain versus Twilight from Elite League Season 7. So we're into the quarter-finals now. From the upper bracket in this season. Sorry guys, I'm vibing to the music right now. Alright, so what we got? We got Twilight playing the Tech Marine versus Anti-Hype, also known as Blood Rain, playing the Warlock. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Twilight, I don't know why the fuck you are playing the Tech Marine on this map. Because playing as Space Marines on a map which has very little cover, in particular green cover, is real bad. One of the biggest advantages of the Space Marines is their ability to utilize green cover. They've got a whole bunch of low model squads, so they benefit disproportionately from low amounts of cover. I mean, high amounts of cover. You know what the fuck I mean. It's just weird. God, that was unlucky. Instant special. Would have knocked him over, would have got a model kill, so he has to retreat. But at least he hasn't lost a model yet, right? It could be the case that Twilight just didn't really see himself having a very good option against Eldar in this map no matter what. He could have gone with IG, which definitely would do better, but I don't think this is a very good map to fight Eldar on as IG. So I understand why he's avoiding it and he's going for Tech Marine instead. He might feel like his Tech Marine is a bit of a throwaway hero in this matchup. Destruction not really getting any good value here. Not hitting cleanly. Two scouts going to be handling the Warlock quite effectively there. Of course, Tech Marine attacks. You're not going to even contest them with Guardians. So, correctly, Blood Rain instantly retreats them, doesn't lose any models. Now, a bit of a fail to not node that quickly. Noding your contested powers is really important against Space Marines, because remember guys, Space Marines, we've got the highest HP out of all the races, but the lowest DPS. So they take a damn long time to take down your power node, so you get better value from building the power nodes in terms of securing your power points against Space Marines than you do against other players. Really nice flank there, predicting perfectly the positioning of the Tech Marine, suppressing that boy, forcing him off. Might even catch the attacks too. Now he doesn't refocus, he probably doesn't even have sight, so the attacks sneak out of there, but the Tech Marines have to retreat. These scouts, they're committing to a bit of cover, but look, this is the problem of scouts in this map. There's never any good cover. They're only getting yellow cover, the Guardians can match it, the Guardians are going to win that fight, he needs to get out of there. He's just going to start leaving scouts, and that is not what you want to do. He should have just retreated instantly here. That was definitely a misplay by Twilight. Obviously not a big deal, but when you're playing an already disadvantaged matchup, just losing odd models like that, you can't afford it, man. You really, really can't. Look how slow it is for him to get his generators online compared to Blood Rain. Blood Rain already has his 4 squads out. He's getting number 5, and he's already up on generators compared to Toil. Now Toil does have his ASM coming out, but there's already double shuriken, and when the shurikens are together, they obviously counter the ASM quite well. Even when they're not together, if Banshees are nearby, they will counter them quite well. What's the Warlock doing? Okay, he's sidecapping. He knows he's not going to be able to pressure that bottom side that well because Twilight is making good use of his scouts, and scouts do counter the Warlock relatively cost effectively. These Banshees are getting absolutely shredded because they're trying to fight ASM on their own, and there's a lot of Overwatch fire coming in. Pretty nice jump there. Tries to wipe out the Banshees, actually finds himself on top of another Shuriken squad, so that's not bad. He's trying to deal with this Shuriken using the what's this called? The high-powered shot from the Masscrafted Bolter. Actually manages to. And he's not even dropped a model yet. This is going really well. Fuck, he has dropped an ASM model, so that's not great. Man, it's just so hard, this matchup. Because you don't do a lot of DPS, so even though he jumped onto that other Shuriken, and that was nice, he wasn't really able to do much DPS before the Rangers got in there. The ASM turned around and went for the wipe of the Shuriken, but Rain was... He was aware, and he retreated out of there. Scouts are going to go in, try and nade the Shuriken, but they just get denied by a kinetic pulse. Now obviously ASM could have jumped in there, but he knows, because Twilight's a very good player, Banshees are probably out on the field again now. Guess what? They were right there. If he jumped in instinctively like a less experienced player would have, he probably would have lost his ASM then when the Banshees activate Fleet of Foot and cut down that ASM on retreat. So he's going to back off, he's doing his best, he's getting elite training with his scouts, that's going to make them a nice effective counter against the shuriken when it's on its own, but the thing is, rangers are out, so they're going to detect. So as long as the rangers stay nearby to the shurikens, that's not really going to be effective. So he actually cancels that upgrade. You can see how difficult this is for the Space Marines. He has fewer squads on the field, and arguably weaker squads as well, especially because of the map in which there's not a lot of green cover, yet he's behind in tech as well. It's just awful, man. But you know, Toil is trying his best here. We see Distort Field coming down on the Warlock, mitigating that range damage as he flees out of there, gets into position. We even see a Hollow Field down now. This is a nice cheeky play. So Twilight knows something's going on. He can see the shuriken, but he's like, this is a bit sus. I just seen that Warlock run over there. I know there's something lurking. But high-powered shot used really well lets him actually deal with that first shuriken head-on without having to rely on his ASM. So now the ASM can go in, they're going to hit that second shuriken, but the problem is there's a lot to counter-initiate. Merciless Witchblade Warlock banishes with the aspect. That in turn is countered by the shotgun blast from the scouts. But the ASM are taking a lot of damage. They're going to bleed models, are they? No, they're not. Oh, beautiful special from the Warlock. This could be the end of the scouts. Oh my god, that was so lucky. Oh, they're going to die. Now the other scouts get in there quick enough. The Tax and the Tech Marine are chipping away at the Rangers. Oh my god. Oh wow, I was just about to say if they focus them, they'll wipe the Rangers. But another high-powered shot from the Tech Marine wipes out those Rangers. They got upgraded to the Hollow Field. That is a nice pick. And he only lost one generator for it. Twilight played that fucking great. That was fire. That was really nice to see. Man, that was close. He nearly lost one of those scout squads. But to be fair, that was only due to a lucky special from the Warlock, who, just at this position, as soon as the scouts ran past him, triggered that special attack which tracks and knocked the scouts into these shurikens. Bit of a weird, desperate grenade there. I don't really like that. I don't know why he threw that grenade. It wasn't really going to do anything. Kind of just wasting energy, but okay. Guardians the whole time, because Guardians are shit in combat, have just been sent down the bottom side. They're just capping. I mean, the thing is, they're not really good against heavy infantry, but they will deal with scouts. And you're most likely going to find the scouts on their own because they're the faster units. So when Twilight is done with his engagements and he's got to send a couple of units off to do some side capping, he's going to send scouts down there because they're speed 6.5. But man, Eldar are fast and they're aggressive and they're on his power farm again. So now he has to try and do a similar play, but you know, it's hard to make those kind of plays twice. And Blood Rain is set up again. He's got these layered shurikens, he's got his banshees waiting, he's got his warlock waiting, he's got that champion's robe and the merciless switchblade. He's dropping down a webway gate that's going to provide regen nearby. It's hard. Now the one thing that Twilight does have going for him right now, infiltrated scouts, and he wiped the rangers. The problem is he's used that damn grenade already, so now he doesn't have it. In theory, otherwise he could have naded this shuriken, but man, he's running into melee, but the shurikens are overlapping, so that's not going to work. Them scouts are forced off real quick, and now the rest of the Space Marine army doesn't really know how to engage. Now they're going to deter the melee units from taking out the generators for now, but you know, it's only a temporary fix. Unfortunately, Twilight kind of botches the jump there. Doesn't quite manage to get into melee straight away, and so the shuriken doesn't really take a lot of health, and the ASM are now forced off. He's just not got anything to do with the shurikens at this point. It is going to be a lost gen farm for Twilight. Meanwhile, the Guardians once again, they're pressuring that VP on the bottom. The VPs are massively in favour of Rain. Warlock is going for the natural requisition. This is looking real grim for Twilight. Now the advantage that he does have is he's got this Razorback out. That is going to do a lot of piercing DPS to these light infantry Eldar and hopefully let him push back out. The problem is he needs to move quick because he is losing all the map very quickly, and Rain has enough money to get a Falcon, and the Falcon obviously it's a transport that does AV, so that is going to hard counter the Razorback on its own. But of course, you know, your Space Marines, you've got a lot of options. You can support it. You can get missile launchers for your tactical Marines. You can get melter guns for your tech Marine. You can get melter bombs for your ASM. So if he uses those tools correctly, he might be able to counter this Falcon. If he can keep his Razorback alive but kill the Falcon, I'd say Twilight in a pretty good situation to make a comeback. Remember, Space Marines always get better as the game goes on. Their units start leveling up, they get huge amounts of HP, they're taking engagements and winning them without ever losing models. It becomes really tough. But yeah, he's massively behind. He needs to somehow figure out a way to beat the Falcon, and the problem is that all those anti-vehicle options that I described already, well, they cost a lot of power, and he's just had all his power bashed. He doesn't have any generators at the moment, so I don't know, man. It's going to be rough. He's got some sergeant upgrades on his infantry squads, so these heavy infantry marine squads are going to be really tough for the Eldar to beat, but the Falcon, he can't counter it. He's got no AV. It's just going to push off the Razorback. This is really tough. He spotted the webway gates, that's cool. He's going to try and destroy that. Wow, why the hell did a Shuriken get out there? That's weird. Damn, he didn't even get punished for it. Shit. That was so aggressive. Oh no, that was not the best ASM jump. He's jumping the Shuriken, but man, Warlock and the Banshees on it. He used the high-powered shots to suppress the Banshees, but it's not worth it. Loses 2 ASM models. That's huge. That's 160 requisition down the drain. He somehow managed to snipe the Exarch there with the Stern Guard. God, Space Marines are really... They're good against Banshees. If you can shoot the Banshees, you're good. The problem is normally you can't because of the fucking Shuriken. Razorback is being mad aggressive. What the hell is he doing? He's charging the Falcon with a Razorback under the global repair. Wow, this is crazy. Because he's dropped that smoke, he's only taking 20% damage. And he's just going to face tank all the damage under the repair of Blessing of the Omnicide Global and the Tech Marine. Wow, interesting players. My god. Scouts and Guardians just trading down bottom. Ooh, is that grenade going to hit? Nah, slightly too soon. ASM come in, cook the Banshees. Well, I don't know if you can cook Banshees given that they're female, but you know. Deny them, put them into chastity. But problem is that Twilight still doesn't have any generators, and now Rain is dropping out spiders, so he can haywire that Razorback. Pin it in place, try and kill it. It's going to be difficult. Now, Twilight does have a lot of requisitions, so he's opting to go for the Plasma Devastators. I actually think Plasma Devastators are pretty damn good on this map. From this position, they can easily hit the natural VP and also can often help to avenge your natural power. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that choice. No Banshees nearby at the moment, so the ASM should in theory do some good damage, but man, Eldar DPS is too much. Even with no Banshees nearby, the ASM just get routed really quickly. This is like, yeah. Even when the ASM counter isn't there, your ASM can't do what they need to do. This matchup is just brutal. Nice use of the smoke though. He's not getting suppressed due to the smoke, but Tech Marine does eventually get suppressed. I guess he walked too far out of the smoke. Oh shit! Really nice first plasma cannon shot. Instantly gibbing the Exarch of the Banshees. The eco is just so rough. Constantly, Blood Rain has the better end of the engagements down here because Guardians will beat Scouts. And then he's on it, he's pushing the power constantly. So, Twilight's just so far behind, he's nowhere near tier 3 and Blood Rain is going to tier 3. Meanwhile, Blood Rain is up on VPs as well. Twilight's making good plays, but it's just a hard matchup, man. I don't know what to say. There's not really much I can advise you to do as a Space Marine in this situation. You're against a competent Eldar, you're gonna lose. Certainly on this map, like I said, you don't want to be playing Space Marine on Ashes of fucking Typhon. all your advantages with sitting in cover and just out trading people and never bleeding, they're gone. There's no cover anywhere. Okay, so ASM are not getting much value up top, so they're going to go down bottom. That's cool. They can easily deal with Guardians. I mean, that's not even a contest. So that's going to give him some ability to get map control down bottom, but he needs gens. Man. The way that Rain is camping up here, I'd probably just try and cap this and drop a gen down there, drop a couple of gens down here, but here we go again. Here's the push on the Razorback. Banshees are moving in. It's got haywired. There are... is that triple or just double repairs? Holy shit, that's a lot of repairs, man. Look how fast that fucking Razorback's healing. Razorbacks don't have a lot of max HP, so triple repairs is kind of nuts on it. Drops down the smoke. Wow. Big repairs. Twilight using that smoke on the Razorback really well. Plasma Devastator is honestly getting really big value. It's countering the setup spam really well. It's already snagged the Banshee Exarch. It's putting a bit of pressure onto the Falcon. I mean, the Plasma Dev is all that's doing damage to the Falcon here. There's no hard AV other than that. He doesn't even have the Melter Gun and the Tech Marine, so... I mean, I don't know, he's just getting a bit too aggressive again. He needs to use the Infiltration to scout for the Plasma Devastators, who then deal with the Shurikens. But I guess the problem is he's feeling really pressured because he's so far behind on VPs, and he knows the Banshees and the Warlock are going to be coming down here to intercept the ASM, because they're obviously the ASM counter. And yeah, I don't know, man. Often when you play against Eldar, you always just feel like you're one step behind, and they always know the counter to your counter. It's so frustrating. He's getting a Devastator squad now. I have to assume that's going to be for a las cannon because he knows how hard it is to counter this Falcon, but the Falcon now has the energy shield, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do? He's dealing with it relatively well. Rain's trying to make plays to snipe it, but he just drops the smoke and starts repairing, and he doesn't really have enough DPS here when he's just got the Falcon itself to really handle it. Wow, he used his Stalk Field on the Shuriken there. That seemed a bit of a waste. And then just retreated it straight after. Is he going for... He's gone to tier 3 to get more Warp Spiders. That doesn't make any sense. Did the ASM take the fight down there? No, they didn't. Okay. This is the problem. Like, he really is just one step ahead all the time. So Twilight is having to respond to the Banshee Warlock down bottom, which obviously routed the ASM. Now he's going to be able to send the scouts off. They can start doing some VP decaps. Clearly, Rain has the spiders on Overwatch because he cancelled them last time. I mean, it's possible. Twilight can definitely do this. He needs to start dropping down some gens. Let's look at his eco. No, maybe not actually, because I'm looking at Rain's eco and he's going to have an avatar real soon. Twilight is not even going to get close to a Dreadnought. You know, in theory, if he had a melee Dreadnought, he could definitely tango with the avatar. If he got like a melee Dreadnought and then he somehow killed the Falcon, he could win it, but he's not going to be able to get a Dreadnought. He's so far off. He doesn't have any requisition for the power. Yeah, he's just got nothing. Obviously, him gen bashing at this point really doesn't do anything. Rain is nearly at 300 power and he's already in tier 3. I mean, yeah, he doesn't need any more power for the rest of the game. And Rain is massively ahead in VPs as well, which he's kind of realising now. This is a really... It's kind of like Fedrid Folly is this map for the VPs. It's super easy to camp down here. You know, you've only got this direction that they can attack from, this direction. In theory, they can loop all the way around, but it just takes so long. And then the other risk, when the enemy, like the red player, is coming from this direction to get the VP to flank your defense here, if they have to retreat, they've got to run straight through your army. So then you're just going to kill them with melee, so it's really risky. So it looks like Rain is quite content now to cede most of this eastern portion of the map and just hold the 2 VPs and ride it out. There's only 100 more VPs left, so he really doesn't have to defend for long. I mean, this is a really valiant effort from Twilight, playing a horrible matchup, really down to the wire. He's made some really good plays, but Bloodrain's just been competent enough to, well, to not fuck up to a degree that allows Twilight to win the matchup. Oh, he can't even keep his secondary natural power. The aggression's just so constant. Shuriken's positioned behind energy shields, that protects them from the plasma devs. Take a couple of plasma devs to take out the shield before you can dislodge the Shuriken. Just a nightmare, man. He's probably going to use the smoke again here. Wow, he doesn't even bother. Is the Shuriken able to kill the attacks from there? Yeah, it looks like it is. I think? I don't know. Maybe he's just shooting the Razorback, I'm not sure. But the Falcon's too far back, the last cannon can't actually reach it. Ah, the Shuriken's just getting so much fucking value, Jesus. Actually didn't really need to retreat there. I don't know, maybe he feared a grenade, but there's no energy for a grenade. What's going on down here? ASM and Scouts are doing things. Maybe we're going to try and kill the Banshees. Problem is the Banshees are reinforcing off that Falcon. Not ideal. No energy now on the ASM thanks to the drain from the Warlock. Yeah, this is kind of it. He's making great trades. Those ASM did really well there. They've got to level 3. He's bleeding the Eldar a lot, but it doesn't matter because he's just got so much resources. The Avatar's coming out now. The Avatar is obviously just going to push up this side. Rain is going to hold these 2 VPs, and he's just going to ride out the VP game, I guess. Shit, he'll be able to get a Fire Prism soon, and then, yeah, I don't know what Twilight can do. Fire Prism's just going to knock over the last cannon constantly, so it stops the Falcon from being countered. The Fire Prism can just snipe the Razorback from afar. It's tough. Twilight fights his hardest, he gets back this VP, and now the Eldar are already on the contested. So it's rough. He has to kill the Avatar and the Falcon to have any hope, and I just don't see how he can do that. He doesn't have the resources. Every time he fights, which he needs to do to stop himself getting triple capped, he bleeds, and then he can't get the resources for anything that can counter those pivotal Eldar units. Now the gates come out, they're healing the units on the field, that synergizes well with the reinforcement from the Falcon. It's brutal. Avatar is in the back line, just tanking loads of damage, slapping around some Devastators. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? Ah, the hero Razorback finally falls. You hate to see it. The Banshees might die here. Stern Guard damage over time, brutal. Yeah, actually wipes the Banshees, but you can just replace them with Seer Council. More bleed from the Sterns, more bleed from the ASM, more bleed from the P-Devs, like, can't deal with the Falcon. Yeah, Avatar's just going to kill the Stern Guard. Sync kill. Well played to both players. This was a nice showcasing of the match. Bloodrain just played really well. You're not going to beat that with Tech Marine. I don't think I could beat that with Tech Marine. Not in this map. You're just not going to do it. It's too hard. Well played to Bloodrain. As to how Bloodrain could have improved, I don't even know. He made a couple of micro mistakes, but compositionally everything he did was legit. Positioning wise, it was all legit. He really pressed that power perfectly. Just great Eldar play. If you struggle with a Tech Marine, make sure the map is Ashes of Typhon, and then play like Blood Rain did. Tech Marine ain't got shit on that. On to the next game, I guess. It's game 2. We got Twilight playing as the Lord Commissar. We got Anti-Hype, also known as Blood Brain, rocking the Chaos Lord, running down the center of the map. Nothing's gonna stop him at all. Backed by the heretics, they're real small, but there's loads of guardsmen coming out. They got las guns, it's gonna shut his mouth. There's nothing that the Chaos Lord can do. Okay, here we go, guys. Game 2. Chaos Lord versus Lord Commissar. So Twilight's pulling out his big guns. Them big guns coming out. His IG is just renowned. He is probably the best consistent Imperial Guard player at the moment. Not that he's ever that consistent, because he doesn't play that much, but let's face it. You think top 3 IG players, you got me, you got Twilight, you got Best Noob. Best Noob ain't playing right now. I'm not playing right now, so it's gotta be Twilight. So we'll see how Blood Rain can handle this. Now Blood Rain, if you guys did not know, he is a Eldar main. And we pretty much seen that last game. He just played amazing. Chaos is his secondary race, and his 5 heroes that he's chosen for this tournament. He's got the Farseer, the Wat Spider Rex, like the Warlock, or the Eldar heroes, and then the Chaos Lord and the Plague Champion. Now he's been super aggressive right now. Perfect timing on the stomp. Well, actually not perfect. He does miss one of the CSM models. Pretty greedy commitment from the Chaos Lord, but he's going to be fine. You know, Guardsmen don't really do much melee DPS. They've only got them blast guns, don't do too much on retreat. The Tick's been capping on the side. That's pretty good. Like to see it. I don't know what these guys were doing. I feel like I don't know why they were so far back. Did they retreat really early on? They must have. Twilight with the hyper-aggressive multi-las turret drop right at the start, and pretty much dominating map control from Twilight as well at the moment. Well, kind of. I guess this heretic here has been kind of annoying. Sentinel's probably going to go over and deal with them. Sentinel obviously can deal with heretics very easily on its own. It's faster than the heretics, and they've only really got those little shitty swords. So, you know, they'll just never catch the Sentinel, who will keep pew-pewing them from afar. If they get too close, the Sentinel goes stompy, stompy on their ass. Alright, so we're looking at Havocs. That's pretty conventional to go for Havocs first. Now, you typically see either 2 CSM into fast Raptors, or 2 Heretics into fast Havocs. So we're seeing the Havocs here. Though, this is weird. Why has he not dropped any gens? I guess because of the multi-laser, but I feel like he should have had that ages ago. Ah, right, because he wants optimal timings for the Noise Marines. Okay, that's fine. So he wants to get the Noise Marines out as soon as possible, hence he's not got any gens. The downside of this build, with a lack of gens early on, means that he basically can't get any upgrades in his units. So we're not seeing any GLs, we're not seeing any AC ticks, we're not seeing any Eternal War upgrades on the CSM. But I like this. This composition is really strong against IG, and it's going to help him push back really well. The Noise Marines obviously are going to counter the last turrets, and then they do huge amounts of DPS to the Guardsmen. The Heretics constantly go down the sides where they can threaten the Guardsmen and easily beat them 1v1, and just a really cost-effective capping tool. The Havocs shouldn't be set up so far back. They need to push forward. Let the Noise Marines tank the damage from there, set up the Havocs around here, and these Heretics no longer should be worshipping. They're wasting their time. Those Heretics should have ran over and just started decapping. Shit, they should have been capping this the whole time. Should already be decapped. Pretty ballsy. Sentinel rush there. Unfortunately, the Havocs were targeting the wrong unit. They should have been targeting the Sentinel. Might have even killed it. Look, they dropped it to half HP. If they started shooting it from there, honestly, that'd be pretty close to killing the fucker. I'm really not sure about this use of the Corn Worship. I think it's a bit redundant. Havocs are too far back now. They need to move up. This is good Corn Worship. Get the Havocs forward quickly into position. feel like the Noise Marines were kind of prematurely retreated there. I think Blood Rain is putting way too much focus on this middle. These ticks should have been capping that, noding it, and then going down here to pull the Sentinels away. Once the Sentinels get pulled away, you force push through the centre with all these. You don't need to be worshipping right now. Worship isn't doing anything. Getting into melee with Sentinels doesn't help you. You're just going to be shot to pieces because the Seal and the CSM don't have the HP to deal with this. Those heretics should have just... Well, they should have just fucked off over here and started capping the sides of the map. There's no point to worshipping like that. I'm tripping out because I've just realised that these sides of the map are already owned by Blood Rain, but it doesn't really matter. You should still just flank down and start decapping these sides. You've got to pull the Sentinels away so that Twilight can't blob in the centre. He needs to blob because he wants to be utilising the double repairs on each of the Sentinels independently. Remember the first guardsman that repairs a Sentinel heals it for 20 HP per second. Man, going in for the kill there with the heretics, but he just runs straight into a stomp. If he baited that out, he probably would have got the Sentinel kill. This would probably be a one engagement when the Doom Blast shuts down all this shit. And Cacophony knocks over the Lord Commissar there. Where the fuck's he gone? Oh, he's right there. He looks like a heretic. What the hell? Knocked over the Commissar into the Havoc, and then he was killed on retreat. Wow, this Guardsman gonna wipe? Oh my god. 2 HP. Super close to wiping. Commissar kind of fucked up there. He should have had his shield on. There's no reason why Cacophony should be knocking over the Commissar. Even if he's run out of energy, you can time it to toggle it on and off to give you that temporary knockback immunity. Right, this is what I'm saying. He should not be doing this right now. Blood Rain should not be pushing so far forward. This is a map where you really need to hold the middle. Why don't you just put the Havoc here, in the green cover? Deny the mid. Stop the Commissar from running through. He'd have to use the spotters, but then you have the CL to deter. I don't know, man. He look, what's he gained from this? He won the fight, he pushed off the IG, and now he's just had to retreat his Havocs, he's had to retreat his CL. He's not getting any yield out of it. The Heretics got a decap on the wreck point, and now they've ran. So it's like, I don't understand what you're achieving here. You're not achieving anything. You have to just secure the mid on this map and then abuse these site blockers. Have Noise Marines chilling here, have the Chaos Lord chilling here, Havocs in green cover. How are they going to push against that? They're not. Grenade launchers can shoot over the walls. Like, it's... Chaos definitely have a lot of tools here. But it's always easier to defend against IG than to attack a fortified IG position. Now the good thing for Blood Rain is that he's doing a really good job with the VP. He has had this VP for pretty much all the game. He's decapping the Natty VP, he's got his own Natty VP. It's not going that bad. He's not too far behind in tech either, and he's got a pretty good composition in terms of scaling. All these Marine squads will scale very well. The Heretics, not so much. But as I say, they're just cheap capping units. They're only 8 pop, not a lot of upkeep. It is what it is. But these Marines will be good. Zinch Marines will melt Sentinels real quick. Obviously your Havocs are always good. They can swap to autocannons and last cannons based on whatever you feel is necessary. Blastmasters are amazing versus IG in tier 2. Again, especially on this map, you just plonk it here. It can cover pretty much all this middle. Very strong. The Chaos Lord just keeps walking forward and just getting focus fired and not doing a whole lot. I honestly think he'd have been a lot better off just swapping to range stance and just using the Chaos Lord as a ranged hero. Cheeky flank from the Commissar then, forcing off the Heretics, and then basically everything mass retreats, and once again, Twilight owns all of the middle of the map. Now he's ceding a lot of VPs, but it's giving him an economic advantage. Rain is getting to tier 2 a fair bit behind him, and now obviously the Chimera's coming out. The Chimera should ideally secure the attack on this power farm for Twilight, or I imagine that's the intention, that's what he wants to do. Get it out nice and early, finish off the power, cement a good economic lead, and then win from there. But we shall see. Honestly, again, I feel like that was a slightly premature Havoc retreat. Yes, they're low in HP, but they could just be parked up in the green cover here, and, you know, the Sentinels are going to take forever to finish them off in green cover, and they're just going to suppress the Guardsmen. Wow, huge damage and retreat there from the Storms, jeez. They actually become quite close to wiping, wow. Here comes the AoE though. The problem is the Chimera's out now, let's counter it. Man, those GLs are putting in big work. But obviously the Imperial Guard just reinforced through it. You need some AV now to threaten the Chimera. Or melee. Melee is another good option because units take less range damage once they're in melee. So if you can overwhelm them with melee, that's definitely an option. He's just moved too far forward here. He's getting out positioned. What's he got on the Havoc? Smack of Corn. I don't know if I like the Mac of Corn choice. I feel like the Chimera is absolutely fundamental to the composition now. And I get that you've already got AV with the Plague Marines, but I don't really think you can ever have enough enough AV against IG. Blood Rain playing this pretty damn sloppy. I don't really understand what he was trying to accomplish with the Chaos Lord there. He's just walking the Chaos Lord into double Sentinels and double fully upgraded Guardsmen. I mean, it doesn't really achieve anything. And then we got a Blood Sacrifice, which it doesn't do anything either. Like, I don't know, man. GL ticks are putting in huge work though. They're doing really good. They've gained a full level in no time. Giving these spotters beautiful Blastmaster shot. God, that does a lot of damage. Might be able to snipe the Sentinel here if he uses some attack ground. No, not quite. I don't like the autocannon. Just doesn't do enough. Just getting melted, running way too close. Then obviously the flare comes down, now the autocannon's just cooked. Can't do shit. That's gonna be a retreat. I mean, he's got time, he's got VPs. He needs to be real patient. If he can just get some squad wipes, he can definitely make a comeback here, Blood Rain. He's obviously completely lost the map control at this point, but as I say, he's got time from that VP lead. If he can somehow manage to wipe the Chimera, he'll be in a decent spot, because he can then just pin down the rest of the army while he set up teams. The problem is now, he just has too many setup teams. His force is so immobile. Twilight making use of the Commissar execute really well there. Look, before the Havoc can even set up, it's already lost like half of its HP, and then a Mortar Shell comes in, and it's just like, okay, see you later, Havoc. It's gained no value there at all. Absolutely nothing. Oh my god. Wow. Guardsman squad just gibbed from that Blastmaster. The Blastmaster's really fucking strong now, guys. It got a damage buff a short while back, and it is damn good now. I don't know what Plague Marines are doing. Why are Plague Marines walking into melee? Commissar has now got the Xenos Powerclaw and Stubbornness. Twilight just replaces the Guardsman. He's just got such good map control that his economy is booming. Even though he's taking these losses, it's just not really impacting him. It's kind of the reverse of what we've seen in Game 1. Twilight was making all these plays, and it just didn't matter because the economy of Rain was just way too good. He was just, every time Twilight was making a play, Rain would just have a new counter to whatever he brought out because he was always one step ahead. Well, it's kind of the reverse here. Every time Rain gets one little nice piece that he can utilise, Twilight's got a counter. Just like this flare here. Twilight was slightly out of position. He moved to the right to stop this Heretic squad that was going for the cap. Drop down a flare. Suddenly, it's not a great position for Rain anymore. He did get another beautiful Blastmaster shot. That Blastmaster's done amazing. They're level 3. Now that's forced off the guardsman. That was countered by a mine drop, but Rain didn't overreact. He moved out of the way, and he actually summoned some bloodletters, which are doing quite well right now. They help push back the... oh my god. This Plague Marine, the true minesweeper. Just went through all those mines, didn't give a fuck. But yeah, look at this. Like, the autocannon, it just doesn't do enough. It's just getting ran through by all the guardsmen. What's that? Is that a mine? Oh, it's a mine. Yeah, I don't know, man. Sentinel forces off the ticks, gonna get the decap. More VP pressure is coming on. Even on retreat, that Blastmaster is just giving models. Well, I don't know why he's getting so close. He's getting way too close. What are you doing? Oh my Jesus Christ. It just doesn't matter because Rain is just repeatedly face charging right into the front of the IG. And this is exactly what you don't want to be doing. He needs to be attacking from flanks. He needs to drag him away from the center, and then once he does secure the center, he needs to hold that position. Oh my god, Plague Marine, shoot your missile, for fuck's sake. No, he shoots the missile at the goddamn Commissar instead of the Sentinel. That was his chance to kill one of them. He can't even kill a Sentinel, never mind the Chimera. What is he going to do? Twilight can go tier 3 at this point. This is game over. Well, I mean, I guess he has enough AoE sources of AoE to have a chance, but like, the Blastmasters are walking so close to the guardsman, it's so predictable, so he just retreats out. And again, he gets a model even on retreat with that Blastmaster. Like, right now, if Twilight doesn't react in time... Wait, oh, he accidentally retrieved the Noise Marines? No! That could have been a perfect time to get a Blastmaster shot. These guardsmen are full models, but they're really low HP. That could have just wiped out the entire squad, if not both. That would be how we'd get back into this game, but instead, Twilight's just pumping out more units. Now we've got some big Ogrins. Oh shit! Beautiful Blastmaster shot, that's what I'm talking about. Another quite random blood sacrifice. I don't really understand the point of this. There was nothing even threatening, like the Lord Commissar was nowhere even nearby. Very strange. Now the Lord Commissar's in the back line. Oh my god, he gets another Havoc. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible choice. It counted the Lord Commissar. Holy shit, look at that DPS though. Oh god. Oh god. Ogrin's on the sideline, making CSM pretty irrelevant. Now with these guys there, the Chaos Army has nothing really to deal with it other than the setup teams, but they're just so immobile. The setup teams can only be in one place at once. If they move to the right, all of the middle of the match is just going to be seeded. And basically, he's never going to be able to push against it, his Rain. This is the problem, these line of sight blockers that the Ogrins are now abusing. Then the Ogrins move in, after the Mortar knocks the Noise Marines forward into them. There's a Havoc coming in, they can get smoked. Ogrins use their head. They're into combat straight away. Yeah, I mean, this is what it is. More random bloodletters. I mean, what is the point of that? Absolutely pointless. strange. Holy shit. What the hell was that? Let the galaxy... Weird. He literally walked the Chaos Lord. Oh, fucking Blastmasters, man. Look at that. They take off half the HP of the Ogrins in one shot. It's mental. What level are they? Level 4. Haha. Level 4 Blastmasters. Blastmasters MVP here for Blood Rain, but unfortunately, too static of a force. He loses. He killed that Guardsman squad with a Let the Galaxy Burn. Jesus, man. See, this is the problem when you play your Guardsman with this sort of Chimera synergy and you're constantly reinforcing. You get a lot of models which are not at full HP. So you end up with this situation where you're like only 70% HP even though it's full models. And that's when the Blastmaster or Let the Galaxy Burn can do some big damage. But I don't know what to say really. I feel like this is too much setup teams. If you're gonna go with this, that's fine, but you need to already secure the mid. So when he's just constantly pushing down, it's not gonna work. You can't push against that sort of position with a spam of setup teams. So you need to pull him away from the mid, send some ticks around the side, start capping here, send the CL here with some ticks, send your CSM over here, drag the opponent to the sides, and then when they do that, that's when you set up here with your setup teams, and you actually start to beat the IG then. But Blood Rain was just too adamant to go down the bottom, and it's not going to work. Not against IG. They're one of the best defensive races in the game. So a bit of a reversal really this time. First game, Twilight had a really bad matchup and was a bit screwed. I don't think this matchup was that bad for Blood Rain. I think the Chaos Lord can definitely take on the Lord Commissar. The map's pretty even for both sides. Whoever owns mid is going to have a real good time. But Blood Rain just didn't play it right. He just made a lot of mistakes here. We'll have to see how he does in game 3, I suppose. Right now, it's 1-1. Alright guys, here we go. Twilight versus Blood Rain game 3. Warp Spider Exarch versus the Inquisitor. Twilight clearly enjoying the little bit of success he's had so far with the Imperial Guard. Blood Rain a little bit pissed off perhaps by the performance of his Chaos against the Imperial Guard, going to go back to the classic. His main, in fact, the Warp Spider Exarch. Hopping on the VP right away, probably going to hop down to the contested right after, start some VP pressure right off the bat, why not? Nothing too unusual so far. Twilight opting for the Guardsman prior to getting the Sentinel. Probably a good idea on this map. There's a lot of capping to be done early on that's quite near to your base. Be interesting to see if Twilight can force off these Guardians before they get the cap and node this power point. That will be quite influential in the early game for this matchup. Warp Spider being real fucking annoying. Has caught the two other VPs, now decapping the natural of Twilight. He does deter the Guardians, they don't want to bleed any models, so that's good. He's secured this node, he's prevented it from being, well, noded by Blood Rain, so that's good. And we see triple gens coming out of Blood Rain. Slightly mistimed to teleport there, ends up getting stunned in spite of it. And now the double Guardsmen are going to force off the Spider. Needs to retreat. Oh my god, he might go down here. Maybe? Not sure. Depends on the accuracy here. They're just not doing any damage. Oh my god, this is so close. The Sentinel's probably going to finish it. Yep. 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 Inquisitor got a model, Hammer of the Witches, kills a Guardian instantly because they've only got 100 HP by default. Alright, another Guardian gonna die. Boom, dead. Look at the XP on the Inquisitor because she's the one who's inflicted all the damage on these Guardians, so she gets all of it. Really nice there. But the first shuriken's out. However, Twilight's already dropped down a las turret. Now, las turrets are fantastic counter-suppression teams, including the shuriken. Because they obviously force the shuriken to stay at quite a distance, and at that kind of distance, the shuriken doesn't output a lot of damage, so then you just repair the las turret. The shuriken isn't really doing anything. It's out of position here. It's not even in cover. The last turret's just easily outfiring it. And this is awful for Blood Rain. He doesn't even have his computer. His computer? What the fuck? He doesn't even have his hero. He does throw in one grenade, but one grenade doesn't kill the last turret. A tip for you guys, if you didn't know, 2 grenades from the Guardians will always insta-kill a last turret. Well, I think you actually do need a tiny amount of ranged fire, but if you throw the grenades and shoot at them with the Guardians, you'll always kill it even if they repair it. And he just lost the Guardian Weapons team. I think that was from a Hammer of the Witches on the side. And he calls GG. Well, I mean, yeah, that's it. That's GG. He's just lost his entire gen farm. He's lost his Warp Spider. He just lost a Shuriken. Twilight's got the entire map. He's bringing out Kaddish and Devils. Like, this is brutal. This is brutal. Yeah, GG. Game 3 goes to Twilight. Alright guys, Game 4 between Twilight and Blood Rain. Twilight no longer sticking with his IG. I guess, I don't know, maybe he's saving up for Game 5 if he has to. He probably feels more confident that way than having to rely on his Apo. But at the moment, it is 2-1 for Twilight, so if he wins this game, the series is over. He doesn't need to use his final IG hero, which, I can't remember which one he's not used. He's not used the Lord General. Yeah, he's not used the Lord General. But Blood Rain does have another Eldar as well, which generally would be regarded as his better races, but it clearly didn't work out very well for him last game. Bit of a Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo sort of situation right there. But we'll see how this matchup goes. Plague Champion versus Apothecary. Very balanced matchup. Maybe even favours the Plague Champion a little bit. But I think this map probably favours the SM quite a lot. It's not a very big distance from your base to the enemy gen farm, so Attack Flamer's really good, ASM really good, they get right on your face straight away. And then it's quite a long, wide map, so constantly harassing these side VPs with Heretics and Scouts is useful, and obviously Scouts generally win that engagement, because, you know, they can kite default Heretics forever, and then once they get the upgrades they just beat default Heretics. So I think the map might normalise the matchup a bit to make it a bit more balanced. Nothing crazy yet. We see 1 gen from Blood Rain. No gens from Twilight. This is interesting. Even though Twilight's gone for no gens, he's got fast shotguns, so I disagree with that. If you go for no gens, you'll get ASM out at optimal timing, but only if you don't get any upgrades. If you get an upgrade, you need 1 gen for every upgrade that you get. So he should be dropping a gen here. Whoops. Or he's going to delay his own ASM. Maybe he's not going for ASM. But now it doesn't make sense. If you're going for Devastators, you'd get more. Unless he's going for like double tax or something, that'd be really weird. Hopefully he doesn't go for double tax, because Havoc is going to counter that pretty damn soundly. So he's trading pretty well from these early engagements. Oh, is he going to get the heal and the tax here? Brutal, brutal. CSM have to get out of there, might even drop a model. They're going to take a while to heal up in base now. So this shotgun pickup is definitely helping Twilight. He's winning these initial engagements. Ooh. Got caught out a bit by the Havoc there, that's not ideal. Might have to retreat these tacks. Maybe not, there's going to be another heal coming out soonish. Heretics did catch these Scouts down here, so a bit of a micro fuck up. Yeah, this is really bad, look at this. I'm wrong. That timing worked out perfectly. What do you know? Oh! He does have the contested power node here, which basically acts like another generator. 9 power, not plus 10. Fine. So he actually gets optimal timing on that ASM. That's pretty damn good, in spite of the shotgun upgrade. Cool. He's definitely doing quite well here. Getting a good end on the engagements. I don't think he's bled much. He lost a scout there. So he's only lost 1 model so far. It's obviously expected as the APO. Really, you should get through tier 1 with losing less than 5 models. Balance in terms of map control is pretty even. Oh, scouts were failing to decap this. That's a bit unfortunate. Come on, Toil. Sort it out, big lad. You're a pro player. Alright, so Rain's on it. He routes the scouts from the top here, and he's now got the vast majority of the map control, and he's also 1 squad up. Got these Havocs out. Drop down 2 gens. Twilight dropping down his gens as well. Twilight got his gens up a little bit earlier, because you can see one of Rain's is still building. Okay. See any upgrades? No, not yet. Whereas Twilight has got the Sarge and this scout squad as well, and he's going for Rights as well. Rights are just a classic in this matchup. They absolutely shit on heretics, so makes sense. Wow, looking good for Rain at the moment. He's got a massive VP lead. He's got the vast majority of the map under his control. Now, if only he can consolidate and do a big blob push on the gens. If he takes out the gens in this position, he's probably poised to just win it from that. But here come the ASM, and they're obviously backed up with the Purification Rights. They're going to go onto the Havocs. A lot of DPS coming onto the Tactical Marines, and instead of using the heal on the ASM to counter the Heretics, he uses it on the Tactical Marines. It doesn't really do much damage then, because obviously there's less models on the Raptors. Twilight's routed. Not a good engagement for Twilight there. He's bled a lot. Lost attack, lost a couple more scouts. Probably going to lose his gen farm. And the majority of the points belong to Rain. You see, you always know you're in a bad position when you're getting gen bashed. Your opponent has an equal amount of gens to you anyway, prior to the gen bash, and your opponent has 1 extra squad than you do. So you're losing in terms of military and economy at that point. Very hard to make a comeback. But this is Dawn of War 2, all it takes is a couple of squad wipes and you're sorted. So let's see what Toil can do. He's got double shotguns now. Makes sense because he's seen that Rain has invested in double aspiring champion heretics. Needs to back up those ASM. Okay, he does get in to melee, forces off the Havocs. Nice Mucus Discharge prevents the Raptors from losing a model, even though they stayed in that engagement for ages. Honestly, those AC ticks probably could have ran forward a while ago rather than worshipping. If you're just going to use your ticks to worship in big fights, then why get an AC on them, you know what I mean? It's not really a worthwhile investment. So here we go. Now, you've seen what I mean by this map is pretty good in terms of... What? Okay. You see what I mean by the distance from the base to the gem farm is not very big in this map. That's why a lot of the main army versus army fights happen in this area. And then you just send your scouts and ticks up to here to cap. Because you need your main army down here, because when you win a fight down here, it just automatically leads into a gen bashing opportunity. But no flamer from Twilight, and he actually leaves that generator with 14 HP. God, you hate to see it, man. You hate to see it. Not ideal at all. Alright, ASM jump in the Havocs. Both of the aspiring champion ticks just rush towards those ASM to beat them down. I don't know if he used the heal already or not. Okay, scouts are moving really close. Apo's picked up the Sanguine Chainsword now, which is actually really good against this composition. There's not a lot of range damage out here, bar the Havoc. So if you can secure, well, just get rid of the Havoc in any way possible, the Apo is going to be really tanky and hard to deal with. That scout going to go down? Nah, not yet. Close though with the Plague Champion's Bolter. I hate when you fight the Plague Champion, man. Because of that damage over time, you've always got to retreat earlier than you otherwise would. And it just fucks up your muscle memory. Having to play totally different against him compared to the CS or the CL. Frustrating. Alright, so both players are going into Tier 2 at relatively similar times, but as I said before, Blood Rain is 1 unit up, and also 240 VPs up. Not ideal. And we just see our Civil Frontier plays out. He's won that engagement as Rain. Boom, he's on the power farm again. This is definitely why it is one of the better maps for Space Marines. But he hasn't got a flame attack, which is usually what you get with Space Marines in this map. And then what you do normally is you get the flame attacks and you bait most of their army to come up here by sending a few things up to commit to capping it. And when the majority of the enemy army comes up here, you just rush your flame attacks down here and bash. Anyway, what's going on in this engagement? Alright, Havoc's routed by the ASM. No models lost yet. Is there a heal with Purification Rites? Boom! Knocking over them ticks. Unfortunately, one of the ASM went down. I think he died just before the heal there. That was really unlucky. So he lost an ASM, but he does win the fight. He's killed 8 ticks there. No Marines killed, but that was 14 heretics dead, so, you know, that's decent. That is actually pretty damn good. That's like, what, 150 repetition and more. Maybe 200 or something. I can't remember how much heretics are. Are they 12? It's like 150. So finally he pokes down that generator and kills it with a menacing glance. But unfortunately there's a Blood Crusher out now. Not ideal. But Toil's doing it, man. He's turned all of the map red again. Sanguine Chainsaw's putting in a lot of value, but I think its value is going to be quite limited now that such powerful melee threats have come out. Beautiful Purification Rites heal there, knocking away all the melee forces of the Chaos. But look at that, man. Power Fist Punch from the Plague Champion, doing about a third of the APO's health from retreat. Brutal. Okay. Toil's maintaining really good control of the map here. It's nice. Now, you can see that Blood Rain has dedicated his CSM to the top here because he knows that they can counter the scouts rather than relying on the heretics. Dreadnought coming out, okay. You know, I always feel bad as a Space Marine when I have to rely on a Dreadnought to try and help me kill a Blood Crusher. It's just so awkward. If it's melee, then it's nearly impossible because the Blood Crusher is just so fast and charges away from you. And you get whittled down by its little pokes while it heals with Worship. It drives me nuts. But if you go Melter, then the Blood Crusher can actually handle you in melee when it's under Worship. It's very awkward. I don't like it. Fucking hell. Okay, nice Emperor's Fist. Get on the Raptors here. Yeah, bleed them. Come on, inflict some damage. Unfortunately they don't. Really nice Mucus Discharge as well. We do see the Armour of Pestilence, granting that plus 600 HP to the PC, and immunity to knockback. Such a good armour. But the Space Marine Blob's just pushing through. No upgrades on the Tactical Marines in terms of weapons yet. Really nice Merciless Strike there though. Kind of cooks the ticks, doesn't really help them out too much. That explosion just isn't really doing anything. ASM so tanky. They're only level 1 as well. Still so fucking tanky. That APO as well, really getting in the face of the Chaos Forces, that Sanguine Chainsaw, doing very well. Dreadnought, hit the ticks. Thank you. There you go, 2 extra ticks dead. And boom! See the missile launcher. Doing good damage to that Blood Crusher. Once again, Toil owns the map. It's looking decent for Toil. The only problem he's got right now is lack of VPs. He's got a lot of VPs to make up for. But But he's playing Space Marines, he has that mobility advantage compared to Chaos. So he should be alright. He's got a lot of resources as well. Is he really going for double ASM? Wow. Wow, that's a bold choice, but there's no bloodletters, so it could definitely work, and it doesn't look like Bloodrain's going to get bloodletters anytime soon. He's way off. He's been bleeding a lot of requisition. Doesn't even have Tzeentch Marines yet, Bloodrain. I guess he doesn't really want them because it's a lot more requisition. He wants bloodletters out ASAP, I guess. He has a lot of pop, honestly. Apo could really do with the Armor of Purity right now. Spam a few more heals. Alright. Scouts getting their sergeant. Cool, cool. Oh, they do lose a model there. That was quite unlucky. Wow, Raptors jumping on the attacks there seems a bit unnecessary, really. Very lucky special attack, though. Interesting. Emperor's Fist. Nope. He's not gonna. He's probably gonna save that for the heretics. Yeah. Boom. That Plague Champion, though, he's in combat, man. He's gonna kill that sergeant. Ah, there you go. I knew it. Fucker. This Las Havoc's causing problems. A lot of range here. But here come the second ASM. Fucking hell. Sanguine Chainsword Apo. Such a nightmare to force off. He's gonna tie up that Las Havoc. Now this Dreadnought can start killing these ticks. Looks like the double ASM do get forced off. Ooh, lots of bleed for Toil here. That's painful. 2 normal ASM models and the ASM Sergeant. And what did he... And he lost Attack Sergeant as well. Yikes. Okay, that engagement definitely favoured Bloodrain. I'm not sure about this missile launcher. It's annoying. You generally do need it. You're not going to kill Blood Crusher just with the Dreadnought, but on the other hand, it's just so nice to get plasma guns against Chaos, especially when they've got Havoc and Raptors, which is so vulnerable to them. I guess that's the power of the Blood Crusher, right? It's only 60 power, 350 requisition, and you just... It's so good. Forcing your opponent to be in certain positions, investing in these uneconomical upgrades. It's awesome. There is even double melter bombs as well. That's a lot to pay in AV. You know, that's 50 for the double melter bombs, 90, oh well, 85 these days for the missile launcher added onto that. Okay, bit of an awkward engagement here. Oh, just get a nice grenade on the Havocs. Wait, what? That did like no damage, what the fuck? Why did the Havoc take no damage from that grenade? Oh, it fucks up his Emperor's Fist. Probably really wanted to stay in there and kill that Aspiring Champion, but he's going to take far too much damage from the Las Havoc, so he makes the correct decision, gets out of there. Oh, is the Blood Crusher going to catch the... Oh, fuck, man. Blood Crusher just catches the Apo. Not ideal. But it's not terrible either. He's got Larimer's Blessing, so he revives the Apo there. Okay, ASMR on the top, getting the VP decap. Las Havoc set up again. Damn. Angels of Death is activated and Touch of Nurgle's used, but look at that. It does fuck all to ASM under Angels of Death. Angels of Death, man, one of the best globals in the game for sure. 200 red, and you give knockback immunity and 50% damage resistance to your entire infantry-based army. So powerful. So, with the Angels of Death, Twilight has decisively won that engagement, but here comes a Khorne Dreadnought! Run, ASM, run! And the Apo, meanwhile, is just going to be like, yo, I don't give a shit, and runs into the enemy base. Is he actually going to die? Yep, looks like he's forgot about them. Oh no. So the Apo falls down, that's not ideal. Man. Another ASM model taken out. He's going to lose the Sergeant! Oh my god, he's going to lose the squad. No, he doesn't. He just loses the Sergeant. But yeah, this is a lot of expensive Marine models that I'm seeing falling in these engagements. Far more than I am seeing Chaos models falling, but then I guess it's made up for the fact that scouts barely ever die, whereas heretics are always dying. Oh, we see the multi-melter upgrade. I mean, that's okay for shooting the Khorne Dread, but you certainly don't want to be in melee with it when you've got that upgrade. Not very good for the Dreadnought. Get out, Dreadnought! Okay. What can Toil do in this situation? ASM going to jump on the CSM here. That's cool. It should force them off, but the Blood Crushers coming to the rescue. So maybe not. He's poising himself for a push against the Khorne Dreadnought here. Oh no. Jump out! No, he didn't. Oh, fuck. That's bad for Toil, that. His micro's just fallen to pieces. He's lost his APO for no reason. Lost an ASM squad for no reason. Ooh, the Last Havoc might get it. The Last Havoc gets it. I think that's it for Toil now. He's just lost so much. Yeah, because the GG. He can't kill the Khorne Dreadnought. He's only got a missile attack. He's just bleeding too much. Look at this again. Loses the Sergeant, loses 2 ASM models, lost the entire other ASM squad, and his Dreadnought, and his APO. Yeah, I don't know, man. He fought well there. That was a good scrap, that. Real close game. Just kind of lost his micro in the end. Fair play, it happens to the best of us. So we're 2-2. It's going to a best of 5, guys. It's actually 5 games in this best of 5. On to game 5 then, I guess. See you there. We've got ourselves game 5 between Twilight and Blood Rain. Blood Rain pulling out his Eldar once again. That's all he's got. He's only got that one option. There's the camera fucking up because of the elevation here. Sometimes does that. Just more problems with the Dawn of War 2 Observer mode. It is how it is. And Lord General coming out for Twilight. And if any of you guys know anything about Twilight, you will know that the Lord General is his bro. So the Lord General is Twilight's main, and he saved it for the end. This is the match that matters. Blood Rain's main is the Water Spider Exarch, but of course he's fine with all the Eldar, so let's see how it goes. Gorilla's Forge, I would argue that out of all the maps, this would probably be one of the better ones for Imperial Guard against Eldar. Oh, that's really bad. Losing a Guardian that early from the bolter of that bloody Lord General. He's so mighty with that one-handed wielding of the bolter. Full fire on the move as well. Look at this shit. These guys just need to retreat. Yeah, they're going to drop models. Drops another model. Sloppy start from Blood Rain. Now, it is a smaller map, so I guess he feels like he needs the early game pressure. And honestly, he does. If he'd have only gone for 2 Guardians and dropped 2 gens here, he'd be in a terrible spot. Because look how aggressive Twilight's being already. Does drop both of the retinue members on his Lord General, which is not ideal. It's a nice special from the Farseer, good tickle, but the Guardians just have to retreat straight away. They can't fight this, they're bleeding massively. Yeah, you can't trade with them here. Sentinel already has his stomp, and the map control is hugely in favour of Twilight. I don't know whether to call him Toil or Twilight there. We'll stick with Twilight for now. There's only one point on the map that is owned by Rain at the moment, his Natural Requisition, and we already see a Las turret going down. So presumably the Sentinel, yep, is going to start contributing, destroying this node, and then he's going to decap it, and then the last turret can deter the recap. Hopefully we can get this bug fixed with the last turret quite quick. There is a fix, I don't know why it's not been implemented yet. It should be able to do damage to this power node. Alright, the Guardians down south seem to quite handily defeat the Guardsmen over here. So that's good for Rain at least, but the problem is that he doesn't have any power, so yeah, he needs to cap this now and start getting some gens up down there instead. Really held back here. 3 requisition points to Twilight. We do have the Shuriken out, but the problem is the Shuriken's kind of... it's held back by the last turret right now. Doesn't want to go too far forward. Can't suppress turrets, guys. the guide on the shuriken should help quite a lot, as well as the grenades as well. Yeah, the guardsmen are nowhere nearby, so he's just going to be able to DPS down the turret. Just take a couple of models, and it obviously dissuaded the shuriken from moving forward for quite a while. So that delayed range gens. So I think the turret put in it. I think it got its value there for sure. The one thing I will say about playing Lord General, it's great that he can heal 200 HP on the field like this whenever he wants by buying those retinue members. But you've got to admit, it costs requisition to do so. I think it's 25 requisition these days, it used to be 13 retail. You know, you're looking at a decent amount of rec there, it's nearly as much as a scout, and you're losing them constantly throughout the game. He is the only hero who bleeds. It's definitely a big weakness for the Lord General. Okay. Twilight's been really aggressive again. Bloodrain really needs to get another shuriken out, but the problem is he's bleeding too much. He doesn't have the requisition to do so. If he hadn't bled all these models, he'd easily have the requisition by now. He's got the power, and a shuriken should already be coming out, if not already be out. But not having that extra shuriken is really making life difficult. If he had a shuriken down here, this part of the map would be totally secure. Bit of a whiffed mortar shell there. I'd have waited for him to get in cover and then use it. See, the Lord General's doing his thing, tying things up in melee, but he just bled another 50 requisition. It's not insignificant, because normally IG don't bleed at all. Like, Guardsmen don't bleed, Sentinel doesn't bleed, Spotters don't bleed. Of course, this is why Twilight focused on the requisition early on. You remember, at the start of this game, he had the power, that. So the 3 requisitions, which are all plus 30 now. Because he recognises that he needs requisition more than he needs power. Getting out his Kadishan Devils now. He's only got 2 gens, that's all he needs to time these things optimally. And map control is just massively in favour of Rain. Sorry, massively in favour of Toil. Rain now has his second shuriken out. So maybe he can start to turn this around now. 2 upgrades of battle equipment on the Guardians. One of them naked. Nope, not for long. Getting his battle equipment too. I like it. Battle equipment just makes a huge deal. It's 33% extra HP for 15 power. That alone is a really nice buff. It makes your Guardians so much more economic. And then when you've got grenades, which against these high model IG squads can easily wipe them, it's a no-brainer really. And then you add energy shields, which counter range damage, which is all IG really output. Come on. Why would you not get that upgrade? Okay, so we got a bit of gen trading here. Ooh, nice nade. So Sergeant's up now on the Lord General. I wonder if he managed to distribute the medic pack. Looks like he did, because he's not got full energy. Ooh, Spot's getting focused down hard. Oh my god, he's going to lose them. 1 HP. No, what are you doing, Rain? What's he doing? Why didn't you just fleet after them? No! They're on 1 HP! Oh, no, Rain. What was he doing? Oh, well, at least he protected his gens. He did lose his node, and he's getting ranges up now. He's being really aggressive. This is good, though. Guided Guardians. Might be able to take out the Sentinel. He's playing really defensive here. Just kill the Sentinel, man. You've got triple Guardians. Just overwhelm it. Just focus fire the Sentinel. You've got enough DPS with Guardians to do that when there's only 1 repair. Shit, triple Guardians will out DPS double repairs really easily. Oh, beautiful grenade. The Sergeant and Stormtrooper get killed. However, Twilight has preserved his gen farm and he has triple gens up now and he's pushing back out. Is that an IED getting dropped down? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna... I was gonna change the song, but then I've just realised I'm on a live stream, so fuck it, I can't. I don't like that I can barely hear the music. Music production needs to sort its out, man. Look at these tier 1s though. Fucking massive tier 1s. Not sure what those Guardians were doing, they just walked straight into the Sentinel, got stomped. Another really juicy grenade, however the second one wasn't really very good at all. Just threw it on the same spot, which is quite redundant. The first grenade had already killed all the Guardsmen on that position. Look how much Kadishans blob up, man. One grenade on these fuckers and they're gone. Spotters getting in some decent damage. They're doing their job, you know, they've caught the bottom, sneaking up the side, running around with 2 models as they do, because obviously you don't get spotters for the guns, you get spotters for the abilities. Better to save the upkeep on them. Might see an old reliable into a stomp here, maybe? Maybe a smoke grenade? Not sure. Ah, nah, spotters are just going to come up and deal with the shuriken themselves. Is that going to be a mortar or a smoke? Mortar, yeah, totally dislodges it. And then because of all the army being here, they can easily force off the shuriken. Has to retreat. Problem is, the second one, but now the Kadishans should have their abilities. All reliable? Yeah, but the problem is there's no follow-up here because the Guardians are rushing in, trying to combo their grenades with the suppression. A little bit slow though on that one. Shuriken being very defensive there, but it's wise because it meant that the Kadishans couldn't shotgun blast him away and do even more damage. Suppressing the entire blob, bit of a whiff there on the grenade. Should have ran around, I think. Another poor grenade, really. Could have been a lot better, only killing 3 guardsmen. But the double shurikens should really deal with this little blob from the IG. Meanwhile, Rangers, Farseer, they've been capping down the bottom. Oh, he's got double Rangers. Oh my god, what kind of... And Twilight's already tier 2, I didn't even notice. Holy shit. I need to pay more attention. Right, so Blood Rain has gone for the biggest tier 1 fucking imaginable. But the problem is now, he's just got to the point where he can afford tier 2, and he goes to tier 2 with perfect timing, but he's losing all of his gens. It's this... The ubiquitous problem situation in Dawn of War 2 where you start to tech up and then before you know it you lose all your gem farms. You get to tier 2, you get 1 unit out and then you can't afford any more while your opponent is just pumping unit after unit after unit. So that's rough for Rain, but he does have a really big tier 1, so honestly he doesn't necessarily need to get out a bunch of tier 2 units. If he just upgrades all of his tier 1 units he should be in a pretty decent spot. Not sure what the Kadishans are doing here. A little bit late on the road reliable. Taking a lot of focus fire. They got to get out of there. But this Lord General squad now, huge amount of HP with the 5 models. Still not enough to deal with the Guardian DPS though. He needs to get himself in some cover, but there's not a lot of cover left on the map. Yeah, retreats out with 5 mobs there, that's wise. Don't want to start losing those retinue members. Rain actually has a really good grasp on the map now. A far better map control than Twilight. However, Twilight does have this little economic advantage here. He's ahead, he's just got his Chimera out. Well, he's gone for double Commissars already, so he's gone for the classic here. Fully upgraded double Guardsman. Really tanky, right in your face with the Chimera. That's obviously going to be really strong on this map. It's a good map for it, because it is a small map. On bigger maps, Eldar can kind of just rat around, run away from you, hide in web brigades, jump about the place, but you don't really have an option to do that on this map. It's just too small, it's going to be in your face, it's going to be bashing your gens. I would like to see Rain start trying to get some gens up down here, you know, not the full farm, just 1 or 2 gens to split Twilight up. Oh, looks like the Farseer is going to get dropped by the Guardsman here, yeah. Just huge damage from Guardsmen when they're fully upgraded. Commissars do a surprising amount of damage. The stats of the Commissar are equivalent to the stats of a tactical Space Marine Sergeant. He's really fucking strong. Nice little creeping Basilisk barrage here, dislodges the Guardians, forces them forward out of their cover. They're going to take a huge amount of damage in doing that. Even the Shuriken gets battered aside. Nice use of the Refractor Shield as well. Oh, Twilight is just playing this great right now. He's using all the abilities. Dodgy grenade, though. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. A lot of domino knockback. But unfortunately, that Creeping Basilisk Barrage really just dislodged Rain there, and he didn't really have the follow-up to deal with the Chimera. Now, the good thing for him is that it has kind of impeded Twilight's economy, but not lots, though, because Twilight, I feel like, he's done a really good job focusing on the requisition points on this map. He's been having the rec points under his control for most of the game. So, we're seeing a Manticore coming out now. It's going to be met by the Falcon from Rain's side. I mean, yeah, this will be interesting. The thing with the Manticore is it actually does really substantial AV damage if it can hit. But one Manticore barrage, if the enemy isn't watching, that'll just wipe a Falcon straight away. It only takes maybe 3 rockets on rear armor to wipe a full HP Falcon. So that's a problem, especially when you consider the Sentinel can get that missile launcher and that the Lord General can get his melter guns. I actually see the spotlight upgrade from the Sentinel. Interesting. I don't know how worth it that is, really. 15 power for a 8 increase in detection range. And here comes the first Manticore barrage. Now a little bit of a swing and a miss. Oh! Oh, God! No, that was a decent rocket there. And you see what I mean? 2 rockets hit that Falcon. It's lost, what, 316 health? So, I guess it would take 4. But yeah, that was really close. You know, because like, look right now, the Falcon isn't at full HP, so another barrage is going to wipe it. And we do see the Sentinel missiles. This is all it takes. A couple of Sentinel missile shots, then a Manticore barrage, a couple of rockets hitting it. You're going to be in a bad spot with that Falcon. Now, on the other side of things, that was a bit of a weird Creeping Basilisk barrage when you know they can just get into the Falcon. I don't really agree with that. Oh, showing rear armor! Oh, not good. Do not want to be showing rear armor. And the Lord General has his metal guns just force melee. They can fire on the move. Force melee Twilight doesn't even need to, because the Sentinel can finish off the Falcon. Okay, this puts Rain... Weird stomp. That's like a victory stomp from the Sentinel. He's like, yeah, I did so well. Stomp! What I was going to say is the Falcon obviously does have massive advantages in the matchup. It supports your triple Guardian well. They have a nice synergy. They actually can trade fairly effectively with Guardsmen once they do get their Warlocks out to get that natural damage resistance. And then the Falcon can shoot down the Chimera because it does AV. But yeah, the Falcon's just so risky, man. So many things that IG can pull out that are just soft AV sources that actually end up doing really well against the Falcon due to its fragility. Like the Sentinel, like the Melter Guns on the Lord General, Melter Gun Stormtroopers as well. So Manticore forces off the Guardian weapon scene, but the rest of the Eldar infantry do manage to dodge it. So much domino knockback. Nice smoke shell. Kadashin's just running around the sides. They're going to be really hard to deal with, because you can't handle them with one unit. You always need more than one. I think that's the GG. Is that the GG? It is indeed. Blood Rain concedes. He says that double range has ruined him. Quite possibly. He did get really good map control at the end of Tier 1. He was sort of kicking back, but then, well, he obviously, because he went for such a big Tier 1, he was behind, and then the Chimera came out and he sort of got pushed off again. I suppose you could argue, if he didn't go for that double ranger, would he have had such good map control? Perhaps not. But if he could have retained that map control without the double ranger and got out his Falcon earlier and not lost it so easily, you know, the game would still be going on. I do have to question the Falcon choice. He didn't even use the Manticore really to deal with the Falcon. It was full HP by the time after the Manticore had hit it twice. It was just the Sentinel and the Lord General that killed the Falcon. So it really raises the question, if the Sentinel and the Lord General, both of which are good against infantry with those upgrades as well as AV, can deal with your Falcon, is it really a good use of the Falcon? I do think the Falcon's better on bigger maps. This map's just too small, man. It's too risky. Like, one good Melter Bomb from infiltrated Metal Stormtroopers into a Manticore, your Falcon's fucked. I would have just liked to have seen Wraithguard. A lot more Webway Gates, a lot more energy shields. And in the early game, I feel like Rain lost a lot of Guardians. really quite unnecessarily too. That has a big impact. If you go back, there was a point when I mentioned how he should already have a shuriken out by now. He's got the power. He was on like 40 power at that point, having dropped his gens quite late as well. But because he'd bled so many guardians, he didn't have the requisition for it when he really should. So, yeah, just a few mistakes from Rain there. Unfortunately, that's going to be him knocked out of the winner's bracket. But don't worry, this is a double elimination tournament, so Rain still does have a chance, and he put up a really good fight there. Our first best of 5. He's going to be going down into the loser's bracket, so he'll be in round 2 of that, fighting someone down there. Twilight, on the other hand, is going to be moving up to the grand finals of the winner's bracket, fighting, we don't know yet, but we shall see. Thank you for watching, guys. That was quite the series. Thank you to the players for providing such beautiful content. I love me some IG versus Eldar. Such a classic matchup. Torpid, out.